the very fact of being a woman critic, whether that's supposed to matter or not, well, of course it does. I look at it with different eyes than a man does, just because of my entire experience being female as opposed to a man's entire experience being male.
I think there are still people who follow critics. The question is, where do they follow us, and who are the critics? I mean, I could count the number of women writing regularly in mainstream forums on one hand. I can count the number of, openly gay or lesbian critics on less than one hand. Almost every major newspaper that you can name in the country has a press corps of white heterosexual men. Very few have anything different.
It's entirely possible that most women are too smart to get wrapped up in the lifelong adventure that is film criticism. They often say that a frequent moviegoer is someone who goes once a month, and I sometimes feel if I've only seen one movie a day that I'm still hopelessly behind. It's an addiction, and perhaps more men than women develop this addiction, this affinity for movie-going. Maybe not a lot of women have the mindset that I want to see that movie, I think I'll just go see it. Or they're showing that ultra-rare von Sternberg film, I think I'll just drop everything else and go see it because for my personal well-being, I need to have seen all the movies by this director.
I don't think that the dearth of women film critics has anything to do with the hiring practices at all. Honestly, I'm the only woman I've ever met that wanted to be a film critic. Maybe it's the lifestyle. I don't know. I mean, you can make sort of generalizations about women's interests, but it's not really a glamorous lifestyle, sitting in a screening room, banging out copy really fast, drinking a lot of coffee. I think that a very general, superficial thing to say would be that women are more interested in being in front of the camera or being behind the camera in sort of a producer's level and a creative level. I think there's this idea that film criticism isn't a creative pursuit. I think there are more women working in online criticism and media in general. Blogging, for instance, is very female. Almost all of the name brand bloggers that I could name off the top of my head are women. Blogging is benefited by a cult of personality sort of thing. And if somebody is running a corporate blog and they're going to pay somebody to write it, I think there's this idea that it's easier to sell a woman.
I wonder if readers read female critics with a different notion of who they are. Do you imagine the female critic in a different way? In a way, a male critic can be completely recessive and blank because you're not picturing him naked. Whereas possibly, this is a theory, I don't know if this is true, the very fact that it is a woman is more provocative.